when I say start small, I don't mean it just because it's affordable. I say start small because it allows you to learn, taste, try, see what works and what doesn't, what you're comfortable with. Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to take the next few minutes and talk to you about kind of this idea of starting small and this idea of just getting started in general. I think a lot of what holds everyone back from getting their marketing act together, and this goes from, this applies on the entrepreneur level, like on the individual FA level, and I think this applies all the way up, ratcheted up to the team and asset management, small firm level. Everyone's afraid to start small. I think the majority of people out there, decision makers and businesses alike, think that like, if we're going to get our marketing together, we're going to get it together with a bang, and we're going to do it big. And I think what ends up happening is, I know what ends up happening is you punt that, and you punt it, and you punt it, and you punt it, and 3 months becomes 6 months, 6 months becomes we'll start in the new year. Starting the new year becomes, I know, but this is pressing and this came up, so we're going to get to it. It's on our punch list, but we're just not there yet. And when you think that you have to, if you know you have to create a marketing ecosystem and get your marketing act together, that's the first step, right? So congratulations. You know that your marketing needs work. You know that it's important. You know that it's going to help the business get to the next level. So right off the bat, you're in a good place. Just knowing that. But then the next step is actually doing something about it. And where I go with that and what I see and what's so common is this idea of like, we're going to do it, but we got to do it with a website, and then we've got to get our email together, and then we need new design, and we need someone who can help us create content. And you think of like all of the pillars that go into creating a really good marketing system, and it overwhelms you to the point of like, this is a $250,000 annualized endeavor. This is this is $500,000, this is $1 million endeavor. We need to budget for this and think it through before we pull the trigger on it. And that right there, that second step of one, you've identified that you know you need marketing. Two, the second step is overwhelming yourself that you need a $500,000 team, $1 million team, $1.5 million budget to be a good marketing, or to put a good marketing program in place. That's what's holding you back, and that's what's killing the momentum for the majority of you. So where I go with it is I say start small, right? Like, and frankly, that's the way to do it anyways. But I'd start small. Like, what is it, if you're an individual FA or if you're a team, like what is it you need to start doing from the bat? You need to start creating content that is consumable by the people you want to do business with. So whether that's, starting with just some quote pictures on social media, LinkedIn, right? Like that's just starting small. Doing 2 of those a week is a big step. And then the next step could be creating some sort of YouTube content. The next step could be polishing up the website. But all this stuff can start really small. Putting an email newsletter together. Just starting to get that ball rolling will actually, one, it'll facilitate the next project and the next kind of endeavor for you, because if you do it and you do it well, you'll know what works, what doesn't, and it'll snowball effect on you. But the other big one, and if you guys can hear this on the podcast and the video, my apologies. I'm recording this using a new software, and it's got my computer really buzzing. So if you can hear the fan working, that's what that is. But starting small is the way to go, because when you start big, you come out like a launch party, and you actually don't even know what the market wants. And that's like, you could really just end up wasting time and money on that. Like, I see it so often on the more corporate asset management level, where there's a team in place and there's a CEO and the CCO, and there's a whole strategic team in place, and they think they have this idea of like, we know we need marketing, so they hire like a CMO. The CMO comes in, puts a senior manager in place, and then a content manager in place, and then they put like 2 digital designers in place. Now they've got a team of like 5 or 6 people, and then they all hunker down for 3 months, and they build this plan of a brand with the flip book and the brand standards and the logo, and this can only go here, and this is how we're going to do it on the website, and this is going to be the launch of the YouTube page, and this is going to be all the brochures, and literally everyone goes into a bunker. So the asset manager hires this marketing team. That marketing team goes into a bunker for 3 to 6 months to build this entire marketing library. And this is common. You guys have seen, you've seen this. You probably wouldn't be aware of it, but you've seen it. And then the marketing team goes into a bunker for 3 to 6 months. And then it's like, on April 1st, we're launching. And then bam, April 1st comes, and it's now, ABC Wealth Management kind of explodes like this volcano, all this marketing activity. And it's super cool and looks fancy and all the bells and whistles, and it's rock solid for a week, and everyone feels cool for a week. And then in a week and a half, the air kind of comes out of the balloon, and everyone realizes that there's not a whole lot of real consumption going on. Boy, it looks shiny. All our stuff looks awesome. When people come to us, like, it looks like we got our shit together, but like, there's not a whole lot of traffic. People aren't as into this as we thought, or as we'd hoped. And that's kind of the reason you need to start small, right? So like, if you're an asset manager or if you're an FA, like, you just got to start, and then you'll start to see what works and what doesn't and what people like. And then you build on top of that, and then you layer on top of that, and then you pour more money on top of what's working. And that's really the way. So when I say start small, I don't mean it just because it's affordable. I say start small because it allows you to learn, taste, try, see what works and what doesn't, what you're comfortable with. Like, every firm has its own kind of communication style and culture, right? So like, also depending where you are in the region and what you're focused on, like, people are going to be drawn naturally to different things. You're not going to, and you might have someone super charismatic in the firm, a portfolio manager who wants to spend a lot of time in front of the camera. And if you start small, you'll start to figure that out. Whereas if you put a big plan in place, that portfolio, you might be building white papers and all sorts of things and not find out that person, is natural in front of the camera, and that could be a real pillar of your content. So I just would encourage everybody to get started, and get started with something that you enjoy, and something that comes natural, and something that you can keep up with and maintain. And then what'll happen is you'll snowball and build on top of that. Another one that I want to, while I've got, I'm just got the mic set up and talking here, that I want to chat with you about is advisors, teams, asset managers. Like, you guys, the majority of you, when you need marketing help, I think you look out at the landscape, the world, and see who's doing it well or who you think's doing a good job. And that probably overwhelms you as well. But I would encourage you to know this. The firms and the FAs and anyone that you look at that's doing a really good job in marketing, I need you to know that they have help. Like, it's not just, they don't just have naturally good marketing. They've either found really good talent and hired them in-house, or they've found a way, or have found really good third-party talent and they're paying them outsourced, and they've had them as a partner. That's it. Like, there's no FAs out there that are just rock jamming, like, amazing marketers that are doing it all on their own. I promise you, like, anyone who you see out there on the FA level that's a rock solid marketer that's just kicking ass and awesome has some sort of help. They're getting ideas from somewhere. They're getting consultation from somewhere. They're getting design help somewhere. They're getting video editing somewhere. They're not just hunkered down doing all that while they're maintaining their practice, I promise you. So if you're going to beat yourself up that, like, you're not doing enough marketing, I need you to know that the ones that you look up to have help. So what that means is, if you want to beat yourself up that you're not doing enough marketing, know that you probably need to bring in some help, whether that's actually hiring someone to work for you or outsourcing and working with a third-party consultant or creator to help you do that. So just know that the ones who are kicking ass have help. And that levels up all the way to the asset management level. Like, a $5 billion firm, $10 billion firm, $1 billion firm who has really awesome marketing, who you might look at and be like, we need to market the way they're marketing. Again, they've either hired quality talent in-house or they're outsourcing to quality talent to help them. No one's just stumbles upon really good marketing. So I want you to know that, and don't beat yourself up. Like, start small and know that if someone's kicking ass, they have help. And that's the bottom line. Like, if you can't do it yourself, find a third party. Don't, obviously, if you can't do it yourself and then you can't afford to hire someone in-house for 80 grand a year, at a kind of, 5-year, 10-year level, right? Someone who's got some tenure in the business and understands the business and is a good graphic designer or knows their way around creating content, in-house is minimum probably going to be, 80 grand for you to hire them. So if you don't have the money to do that, hire or find the right third-party outsource for the right budget for you and get the consultative work with them. And then maybe layer on top of that some creative work and find the budget that's right. Is that $2 grand a month? Is it $3,500 a month? If you could outsource to someone or a team, a group that could help you create content for 25 grand a year, 35 grand a year, and they can help you level up, now you've really got something. So that's just something to keep in mind as you're looking around and you're seeing competitors, colleagues, contemporaries, you're seeing them kick ass with marketing. They're paying for it. So just keep, you have to know that. And that's the way it goes. Like, sorry, that's just how it is. And that could be attainable and affordable for you as well. You just have to find the right groups and teams or people to help with that. And the last thing that I'll leave you with is, if you're ready to pay for it and you're ready to find that help, be really mindful of who and how and when, who you're going to work and what you're going to do. Like, don't hire the bell and whistle. Don't hire the silver bullet. Don't hire the we promise X. Do your due diligence. Be smart. Hire the people that can show you and prove to you they know what they're doing by doing it. And what that means is they've done it. And you've seen that they've done it. Right? Like, I laugh at the marketers who can't market. That's a joke to me, right? Like, don't hire a marketer who can't market themselves. So be mindful of that. But that's it. That's what I got for you guys. Like, anyone you look up to that's kicking ass has help. And the other thing that I started this whole conversation with is start small, right? Starting small is the answer. You don't want to, I've rarely seen any successful big bang marketing launch come from hunkering down and having all your shit together and then going. Like, just start dripping and just start doing, and it's going to evolve. And your first 5 pieces of content are going to look like crap in a year when you're rolling and you've got it all going, because you will have refined it by then. So don't overjudge the first few things you put out. Just keep evolving, keep building, keep growing, keep saying, oh, people love that, they didn't like this, let's pour more on top of that. So I'm not going to rehash it, but that's where I'm at with it. This is, we'll see if I can brighten up this software. It looks a little dull on camera here, but maybe I could apply some light to it. Even though I have 48 lights going on, it still looks dull for some reason. And cheers. Thanks you guys for listening. Take a second. If you haven't already, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the podcast. If you haven't, please rate the video or rate the podcast, rate this episode. And I'm really excited to do the Ask Me Anything episode. I've had a lot of really good questions come in, and I encourage anyone listening who wants to have a question answered. I'll keep them all anonymous. Shoot me an email, Corey@marketerscompany.com. Shoot me a DM on LinkedIn, whatever, Instagram, wherever you're following me. Or if you have my cell phone number, shoot me a text. I'd love to answer a specific question for you and your business. And you can get as granular as you want and be like, we have this problem. What would you do? I'd love to answer that for you. So I have a handful that have already come in. So I'll pick, 10. And if there's more, maybe I'll do 2 episodes on it. But we'll do an Ask Me Anything episode soon here. I don't know if that'll be December or early January, but it'll be fun. And cheers. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you're all well. Talk soon.